Discussion on verses 1 to 31 of 31. In order to instill humility within people, a quality without which accepting and acting upon divine guidance becomes extremely difficult, especially when it opposes personal desires and ambitions, Allah, the Exalted, begins this chapter by reminding them of their humble and insignificant origin. Chapter 76 Al-Insaan, verses 1 to 2.
Has there not come upon man a period of time when he was not a thing even mentioned? Indeed, we created man from a sperm drop mixture.
Reflecting on this origin softens the heart and cultivates humility. When a person recognizes how they began, they become less inclined to reject truth out of pride or stubbornness. Arrogance is often the barrier that prevents a person from accepting guidance, as it causes them to prioritize their own desires, opinions, and status over submission to what is right. By contrast, humility allows a person to acknowledge their limitations and recognize their need for guidance from Allah, the Exalted. Furthermore, these verses highlight that just as a person was created through a deliberate process from something seemingly insignificant, their existence is not without purpose. The one who brought them into existence in such a precise manner has not left them without direction. Rather, they have been given guidance and the ability to choose, and they will be held accountable for how they respond. Chapter 76 Al-Insaan, verse 2.
That we may try him, and we made him hearing and seeing.
Just as every stage of a human being's development is precisely designed for a specific and meaningful purpose, so too is the life of a human being as a whole. This purpose lies in whether a person chooses to use the blessings they have been granted correctly, in accordance with Islamic teachings. Chapter 76 Al-Insaan, verse 3.
Indeed, we guided him to the way, either grateful or ungrateful.
When a person fulfills even a portion of another's needs, such as providing shelter, they are naturally deserving of gratitude. Therefore, since Allah the Exalted is the one who has granted every blessing within existence, it is only just and right that people show him gratitude. Gratitude manifests in three key ways. Firstly, through intention, a person should act solely to please Allah the Exalted. Whoever acts for other motives will not receive reward from him, as warned in a hadith found in Jami at Tirmidhi, number 3154. A clear sign of sincerity is that a person neither expects nor seeks appreciation or compensation from others. Secondly, gratitude is expressed through speech, by speaking what is good or choosing silence when speech is unnecessary or harmful. Thirdly, gratitude is demonstrated through actions, by using the blessings one has been granted in ways that please Allah, the Exalted, as outlined in the Holy Quran and the traditions of the Holy Prophet Muhammad, peace and blessings be upon him. This form of gratitude leads to an increase in blessings and ultimately results in peace of mind in both worlds, through achieving a balanced mental and physical state, and correctly placing everything and everyone within one's life. Chapter 14 Ibrahim, verse 7.
If you are grateful, I will surely increase you in favor.
Furthermore, it is widely accepted that the owner of something has full authority over how it is used. Since Allah the Exalted is the creator, owner, and sustainer of everything, including mankind, He alone has the right to determine what should occur within the universe. Therefore, it is only just that people obey him. Similarly, when a person lends something to another, it is expected that the borrower will use it according to the wishes of the owner. In the same way, all the blessings a person possesses in this world are a trust from Allah, the Exalted. They are not permanent gifts, but temporary provisions. Like any trust, they must be repaid, and this is done by using them in ways that are pleasing to Him. In contrast, the blessings of paradise are true gifts, in which people will have complete freedom in how they use them. Chapter 7 Al-Araf, verse 43.
And they will be called, "This is paradise which you have been made to inherit for what you used to do."
A person must therefore clearly distinguish between the blessings of this world, which are a trust and responsibility, and the blessings of the next world, which are a reward and a gift. But as showing gratitude by correctly using the blessings one has been granted, as outlined in Islamic teachings, often contradicts the worldly desires of people, many of them will persist on misusing them. In this world, their attitude will prevent them from achieving a balanced mental and physical state, and it will cause them to misplace everything and everyone within their life. As a result, everything within their life, such as their family, friends, career and wealth, will become a source of stress for them. If they persist on disobeying Allah, the Exalted, then they will blame the wrong things and people within their lives, such as their spouse, for their stress. When they cut these good people out of their lives, it will only increase them in mental disorders until they plunge into depression, substance addiction, and even suicidal tendencies. This outcome is quite obvious when one observes those who persist on misusing the blessings they have been granted, such as the rich and famous, even if they enjoy worldly luxuries. And as their attitude prevented them from preparing for their accountability on Judgment Day, their punishment in the hereafter will be far worse. Chapter 76 Al-Insaan, verse 4.
Indeed, we have prepared for the disbelievers chains and shackles and a blaze.
It is important to recognize that the previous verses link ingratitude with disbelief, just as they connect gratitude with true belief. This serves as a serious warning to those who verbally claim faith in Allah, the Exalted, yet persist in ingratitude by misusing the blessings they have been granted. In this world, a person is regarded as a Muslim according to the law based on their verbal declaration of faith. However, in the hereafter, every individual will be judged by Allah, the Exalted, according to their inner reality, which remains hidden from others. Therefore, a person who claims belief in Allah, the Exalted, and accountability in the hereafter, yet fails to support this claim with actions, may in reality possess no true faith in their heart. As a result, they may be treated as a non-Muslim on Judgment Day, even if they were considered a Muslim in this world. Furthermore, the one who does not reinforce their verbal declaration of faith through actions places their faith in grave danger. Faith may be compared to a delicate flame that requires constant care and nourishment. Just as a fire is extinguished when deprived of fuel, faith weakens and may eventually disappear if it is not sustained through consistent obedience. Neglecting this spiritual nourishment risks extinguishing the very light that guides a person, and such a loss is among the most severe a person can face. The connection between gratitude and true belief is further reinforced in the next verses, where the righteous, those who prove their faith through their actions, are given glad tidings of immense reward and blessings. Chapter 76 Al-Insaan, verses 5-6.
Indeed, the righteous will drink from a cup of wine whose mixture is of kaffir, a spring of which the righteous servants of Allah will drink. They will make it gush forth in force.
This promise highlights that true gratitude is not merely expressed through words, but is demonstrated through sincere obedience and righteous conduct. This understanding is strengthened further in the following verse, which emphasizes the importance of supporting one's verbal declaration of faith with actions. Chapter 76 Al-Insaan, verse 7.
They are those who fulfilled their vows.
The greatest promise a person makes is the one made with Allah, the Exalted, when they accept Him as their Lord. This is not merely a statement uttered by the tongue, but a binding commitment that encompasses every aspect of a person's life. Fulfilling this promise requires consistent effort in carrying out His commands, refraining from His prohibitions, and responding to all circumstances, whether ease or hardship, with patience and trust, in accordance with the teachings of the Holy Quran and the traditions of the Holy Prophet Muhammad, peace and blessings be upon him. It means living in a way where one's actions reflect their claim of belief, ensuring that every blessing they possess is used in a manner that is pleasing to Allah, the Exalted. In addition to this supreme commitment, all promises made with others must also be honored, unless there is a valid and genuine excuse. Upholding promises is a fundamental part of good character and social harmony. This is especially crucial when dealing with children, as they learn values primarily through observation. When promises made to them are repeatedly broken, it not only harms their trust but also shapes their understanding of relationships, leading them to believe that dishonesty and unreliability are acceptable traits. In contrast, consistently fulfilling promises nurtures trust, security, and strong moral character. The seriousness of this matter is clearly emphasized in a hadith found in Sahih Bukhari, number 2227, where Allah, the Exalted, declares that He will stand against the one who makes a promise in His name and then breaks it without a valid reason. To have Allah, the Exalted, as an opponent on Judgment Day places a person in an extremely dangerous and hopeless position, as there can be no success for the one opposed by their Creator. For this reason, It is wise for a person to be cautious and avoid making promises unnecessarily, especially when there is uncertainty about fulfilling them. However, once a lawful promise is made, it becomes a serious responsibility. A person must strive with sincerity and determination to fulfill it, recognizing that doing so is a clear sign of integrity, reliability, and true faith, while neglecting it reflects weakness in character and a deficiency in one's commitment to their Lord. A vital aspect of faith is to truly fear one's accountability, and this fear is not merely theoretical, but is demonstrated through practical preparation for it. Without this, neither peace of mind on an individual level nor justice within society can be achieved. Chapter 76 Al-Insaan, verse 7.
And fear a day whose evil will be widespread.
Peace of mind and societal justice are inseparably linked to belief in accountability on Judgment Day. When this belief is absent or weak, people inevitably begin to misuse the blessings they have been granted, such as wealth, health, and authority. This misuse not only deprives them of inner tranquility, but also leads to the violation of the rights of others. When a person convinces themselves that they will not be held accountable, they become emboldened to act unjustly, especially when they believe they can avoid worldly consequences. In this state, blessings lose their true purpose and are transformed into tools of harm rather than benefit. Wealth becomes a means of greed, authority becomes a vehicle for oppression, and relationships are exploited for personal gain. The result is both internal unrest and widespread corruption within society. Chapter 29 Al-Ankabut, verse 36.
Expect the last day and do not commit abuse on the earth, spreading corruption.
In contrast, belief in accountability on Judgment Day acts as a powerful safeguard. It restrains a person's desires, disciplines their behavior, and ensures that the blessings they possess are used correctly. It instills a constant awareness that every action will be weighed, every right will be accounted for, and every injustice will be exposed. This awareness nurtures sincerity, humility, and responsibility, enabling a person to achieve balance within themselves and contribute to justice within society. Both history and everyday observation clearly demonstrate this reality. Societies that abandon the concept of accountability, whether divine or even moral, gradually fall into corruption. Laws are manipulated, rights are neglected, and oppression becomes widespread. On the other hand, societies that uphold accountability cultivate justice, compassion, and stability. In this way, belief in Judgment Day serves as a moral compass, guiding individuals to act with integrity even when no worldly authority is present to enforce it. On a personal level, this belief ensures that blessings are placed in their proper context. Wealth is used responsibly, authority is exercised fairly, and relationships are maintained with sincerity. This leads to a balanced mental and physical state, resulting in genuine peace of mind. On a societal level, it ensures that rights are fulfilled, justice is upheld, and harmony is established. Without this belief, imbalance becomes inevitable. People neglect their responsibilities, misuse their blessings, and harm others. Families weaken, communities divide, and societies collapse under the weight of injustice. But when this belief is present, it creates stability, order, and prosperity. Ultimately, belief in Judgment Day is not simply a matter of belief in theory, it is a practical necessity. It is the foundation upon which both personal tranquility and social harmony are built. Without it, injustice and disorder prevail. With it, blessings are preserved, rights are fulfilled, and peace is established in both this world and the hereafter. A clear and practical demonstration of belief in one's accountability on Judgment Day and the hereafter is shown through caring for and assisting those in need. Chapter 76 Al-Insaan, verse 8.
And they give food in spite of love for it to the needy.
This verse highlights a profound reality. True faith is not merely expressed in words, but is proven when a person sacrifices what they love for the sake of Allah, the Exalted. Giving to others, especially when one personally desires what they are giving, reflects sincerity, self-control, and a genuine awareness that one will be held accountable for how they use their blessings. Despite the natural inclination to hold onto and even misuse the blessings one has been granted, a person must train themselves to act with discipline and wisdom. They should behave like a wise patient who accepts and follows the guidance of a skilled doctor, knowing that it is ultimately for their benefit, even if it involves enduring something difficult, such as taking bitter medicine or adhering to a strict diet. In the same way, a person who accepts and acts upon Islamic teachings, even when they conflict with personal desires, will attain true success. By correctly using the blessings they have been granted, as outlined in the Holy Quran and the traditions of the Holy Prophet Muhammad, peace and blessings be upon him, they achieve a balanced mental and physical state and learn to place everything and everyone in their proper position within life. This disciplined approach leads to genuine peace of mind in this world and lasting success in the hereafter, as it reflects a person who not only believes in accountability but actively prepares for it through their actions. Chapter 76 Al-Insaan, verse 8.
And they give food in spite of love for it to the needy, the orphan.
Orphans are frequently highlighted in Islamic teachings because they are among the most vulnerable members of society and are often deprived of their rights due to their social weakness. Therefore, a person must make a conscious effort to support those who are vulnerable, such as orphans and widows, according to their means. In today's time, fulfilling this responsibility has become easier than ever, as one can arrange sponsorships online within minutes. In many cases, the cost of supporting an orphan or a widow is even less than a typical monthly phone bill. This removes any reasonable excuse for neglecting such an important aspect of Islam. Caring for the needy is not a minor act. It carries immense reward and divine support. It has been confirmed in a hadith found in Sahih Muslim, number 6853, that Allah, the Exalted, continues to support the one who supports others. Furthermore, the Holy Prophet Muhammad, peace and blessings be upon him, taught that the one who takes care of an orphan will be close to him in paradise, as mentioned in Sahih Bukhari, number 6005. In addition, caring for the needy, such as a widow, earns a reward similar to that of a person who spends their nights in prayer and their days in fasting, as mentioned in Sahih Bukhari, number 6006. This is a remarkable opportunity, especially for those who may struggle to perform voluntary acts of worship, as they can attain immense reward through simple, sincere acts of service. It is also essential to maintain the correct mindset when helping others. Whatever a person possesses, whether wealth, health, or ability, is not truly their own, but a trust granted by Allah, the Exalted. These blessings are like a loan, not a permanent gift, and must be repaid by using them in ways that please Him. Therefore, when a person helps the needy, they are not doing a favor to Allah, the Exalted, or even to the one they are helping. In reality, Allah, the Exalted, has favored them by granting them the means to give and the opportunity to earn reward. Likewise, the one receiving help is also, in a sense, doing a favor to the giver by accepting their assistance, as without them, the giver would be deprived of this reward. Maintaining this perspective protects a person from arrogance, pride, and self-righteousness, all of which can destroy the value of good deeds. It nurtures humility, sincerity, and gratitude, ensuring that the act of giving is accepted and rewarded. Finally, aiding the needy is not limited to financial support alone. It includes fulfilling any lawful need a person may have, whether emotional, physical, or practical. Offering comfort, support, time, or guidance are all forms of helping others. Therefore, no person, regardless of their financial situation, is exempt from acting upon this teaching. Everyone has something to give, and every sincere effort contributes towards success in both this world and the hereafter. Chapter 76 Al-Insaan, verse 8.
And they give food in spite of love for it to the needy, the orphan and the prisoner.
In this day and age, aiding prisoners can take many practical and meaningful forms that support their rehabilitation and reintegration into society. One important aspect is treating them with dignity and respect after they have served their sentence, recognizing that people can change and deserve a fair opportunity to rebuild their lives. Engaging with them in positive and constructive ways, rather than socially boycotting them, helps prevent isolation, which can otherwise push them back toward harmful environments. Aiding former prisoners can include offering emotional and social support. For example, listening to their concerns without judgment, encouraging them to pursue positive goals, and helping them rebuild self-confidence can make a significant difference. Many individuals leaving prison struggle with stigma, so simply being treated with respect and kindness can have a powerful impact on their sense of belonging and motivation to improve. Another important area is assisting with practical needs. This can include helping them find employment, supporting job training opportunities, or connecting them with educational programs that teach valuable skills. Stable employment and education are among the strongest factors in preventing a return to harmful behavior, as they provide structure, purpose, and financial independence. Providing guidance in daily life is also beneficial. This may involve helping them develop good routines, encouraging healthy habits, and advising them on managing responsibilities such as finances, time management, and personal conduct. Introducing them to positive environments, such as community groups, educational circles, or constructive social gatherings, can help replace negative influences with beneficial ones. In some cases, assisting with basic needs such as housing, clothing, or access to essential services can be vital, especially immediately after release when many former prisoners have limited support. Helping them secure a stable living environment reduces the likelihood of falling back into harmful situations. At the same time, it is essential to approach this with wisdom and caution. Supporting and showing respect does not mean placing oneself in a vulnerable or unsafe situation. A person should always take appropriate measures to ensure their own safety, while still maintaining good character and respectful conduct. Boundaries should be clear, and support should be offered in a responsible and balanced way. Ultimately, aiding prisoners in these ways contributes not only to their personal rehabilitation, but also to the well-being of society as a whole. By helping individuals rebuild their lives with dignity and purpose, one helps reduce harm, strengthen communities, and promote a more just and compassionate environment. Allah the Exalted then reminds people are the foundation of all good deeds, a sincere intention without which attaining reward in both worlds is not possible. Chapter 76 Al-Insaan, verse 9.
Saying, "We feed you only for the countenance of Allah. We wish not from you reward or gratitude."
In a hadith found in Jami at Tirmidhi, number 3154, the Holy Prophet Muhammad, peace and blessings be upon him, warned that those who perform deeds to gain recognition from others instead of seeking the pleasure of Allah, the Exalted, will be told on Judgment Day to seek their reward from those they acted for, something that will be impossible. This emphasizes the seriousness of corrupt intentions, and the complete loss faced by those whose actions are not sincerely for Allah, the Exalted. It is important to understand that intention is the foundation of all deeds, and it is a key basis upon which actions are judged. This is confirmed in a hadith found in Sahih Bukhari, number 1, which shows that actions are judged according to intentions. Therefore, one must ensure that both religious duties and beneficial worldly actions are carried out purely for the sake of Allah, the Exalted, so that reward is attained in both this life and the hereafter. A clear sign of correct intention is that one does not expect or desire praise, recognition, or gratitude from others. If a person finds themselves longing for appreciation, it may indicate that their intention is not fully aligned with seeking the pleasure of Allah, the Exalted. Purifying intention requires self-reflection, humility, and a conscious effort to redirect the heart away from seeking people's approval. Maintaining sincere intention also protects a person from emotional distress, such as disappointment, resentment, and bitterness. When actions are done for the sake of others, the inevitable lack of appreciation can lead to frustration and sadness. This is commonly seen when individuals carry out their responsibilities while expecting gratitude in return. When such appreciation is not shown, they may feel unappreciated and become emotionally burdened. However, when a person acts solely for the sake of Allah, the Exalted, they perform their duties, whether towards family or society, with patience and consistency, without becoming bitter or resentful if others fail to acknowledge their efforts. Their motivation remains rooted in the awareness that Allah, the Exalted, sees and rewards all sincere actions. This mindset brings lasting peace of mind, as the individual is not dependent on the changing opinions of others. Instead, they find contentment in knowing that their efforts are recorded and will be rewarded by Allah, the Exalted. In this way, sincerity becomes a source of both spiritual success and emotional stability. Ultimately, one must strive to purify their intentions, as neglecting this can lead to outward success in this world while resulting in loss in the hereafter. Chapter 18 Al-Kahf, verse 110.
So whoever would hope for the meeting with his Lord, let him do righteous work and not associate in the worship of his Lord anyone.
Those who reflect a sincere awareness of their accountability and demonstrate it through practical preparation, by correctly using the blessings they have been granted in accordance with divine guidance, will find peace of mind in both worlds. This is achieved through attaining a balanced mental and physical state, and by placing everything and everyone within their life in its proper position. Chapter 76 Al-Insaan, verses 10 to 20.
Indeed, we fear from our Lord a day austere and distressful. So Allah will protect them from the evil of that day, and give them radiance and happiness, and will reward them for what they patiently endured, with a garden in paradise and silk garments. They will be reclining therein on adorned couches. They will not see therein any burning sun or freezing cold. And near above them are its shades, and its fruit to be picked will be lowered in compliance. And there will be circulated among them vessels of silver and cups having been created clear as glass. Clear glasses made from silver of which they have determined the measure. And they will be given to drink a cup of wine whose mixture is of ginger, from a fountain within paradise named Salsabil. There will circulate among them young boys made eternal. When you see them you would think them as scattered pearls. And when you look there in paradise, you will see pleasure and great dominion.
First, it is important to recognize that worldly legacies are temporary. History is filled with examples of wealthy and powerful individuals who built vast empires, only for them to collapse and be forgotten after their passing. The remnants that remain often serve as reminders, warning others not to follow the same path. One such example is the empire of Pharaoh, whose story stands as a lesson for all generations. In contrast, guidance teaches that a person should not only send forward righteous deeds for the hereafter, but also strive to leave behind a beneficial legacy in this world. When someone passes away and leaves behind something that continues to benefit others, such as ongoing charity or any lasting good, they continue to receive reward for it. This is confirmed in a hadith found in Sahih Muslim, number 4223. Therefore, one should aim to combine both, sending forward good deeds for the hereafter while also establishing a positive and lasting contribution in this world. Unfortunately, many become preoccupied with wealth and possessions, focusing solely on accumulating material assets that remain behind and offer no benefit after death. This is a loss, as it neglects the opportunity to leave behind something meaningful and enduring. It is also important not to be deceived into thinking that there is ample time to build such a legacy. The moment of death is unknown and can arrive unexpectedly. For this reason, today should be used as an opportunity to reflect on the legacy one is creating. If a person's legacy is already beneficial, they should be grateful to Allah, the Exalted, for granting them the ability to do so. If not, they should begin taking steps to create something that will benefit them, ensuring that they send forward good for the hereafter and leave behind good in this world. In doing so, a person surrounds themselves with lasting benefit in both realms, and it is hoped that such a state will be a means of forgiveness from Allah, the Exalted. Therefore, every individual should reflect and ask themselves, what legacy are they leaving behind? Those who adopt the right attitude will find that the good legacy they build in this world will transform into an eternal and great legacy in the next. Chapter 76 Al-Insaan, verses 20 to 22.
And when you look there in paradise, you will see pleasure and great dominion. Upon the inhabitants will be green garments of fine silk and brocade. And they will be adorned with bracelets of silver, and their Lord will give them a purifying drink. And it will be said, indeed, this is for you a reward, and your effort has been appreciated.
Unlike worldly standards, where a person is often judged and valued based on the results they achieve, Allah, the Exalted, judges and values the sincerity of effort and intention. What matters is whether a person sincerely seeks to please Allah, the Exalted, and supports that intention with genuine effort and perseverance in obeying Him. When this is present, A person can attain peace of mind in both worlds, through achieving a balanced mental and physical state, and by correctly placing everything and everyone within their life, even if outward results are not achieved. Chapter 53 and Najm, verse 39.
And that there is not for the human except that good for which he strives.
This means that reward is not limited to visible success or measurable outcomes. Rather, effort itself carries value when it is rooted in sincerity and directed toward what is pleasing to Allah, the Exalted. A person who strives in doing good, whether in acts of worship, helping others, or contributing to a beneficial cause, will be rewarded for that striving, even if circumstances prevent them from completing the task or achieving the intended result. For example, a person who intends to complete a charitable project and exerts sincere effort toward it, planning, working, and dedicating their time and resources, will still be rewarded, even if the project does not come to fruition or fails to produce visible outcomes. The reward is not lost, because the effort itself was sincere and directed toward good. This understanding removes feelings of frustration, disappointment, and self-doubt that can arise when results do not match expectations. Instead, it instills a sense of calm and contentment, as a person recognizes that their responsibility is to strive sincerely, while the outcomes are ultimately determined by Allah, the Exalted. Such an outlook fosters balance, as a person is neither overly attached to results nor discouraged by failure. They continue to act with sincerity, patience, and trust, knowing that every sincere effort is seen, valued, and rewarded. In this way, both intention and effort become sources of lasting reward and inner peace, as long as they line up with Islamic teachings. Chapter 76 Al-Insaan, verse 23.
Indeed, it is we who have sent down to you the Quran progressively.
The Holy Quran was revealed in stages, to make the journey from disbelief to strong faith easier and more sustainable. If all commands, prohibitions, and guidance had been revealed at once, implementing them would have been overwhelming and difficult for people to bear. Instead, Allah, the Exalted, chose a method of gradual guidance that nurtures steady growth, allowing faith to take root, develop, and strengthen over time. This can be understood through a simple analogy. Just as a medical doctor gradually adjusts treatment so that a patient can safely adapt, the guidance of the Holy Quran was revealed in measured portions so that hearts could absorb it, reflect upon it, and act upon it step by step. Chapter 25 Al-Furqan, verse 32.
And those who disbelieve say, why was the Quran not revealed to him all at once? Thus it is that we may strengthen thereby your heart. And we have spaced it distinctly.
This verse shows that gradual revelation was designed to strengthen the heart, helping a person remain firm while facing trials, challenges, and the effort of personal transformation. It demonstrates that Allah, the Exalted, does not expect sudden perfection, but rather sincere and continuous effort toward improvement. At the same time, this principle should not be misunderstood as permission for delay or complacency. Gradual improvement does not mean remaining unchanged. A person who claims to be improving but makes no real effort has misunderstood this guidance. The purpose of gradual development is continuous progress, not procrastination. In fact, each stage of guidance is meant to be acted upon before moving to the next. Just as the early recipients of the Holy Quran were expected to implement what had already been revealed, every person is expected to act upon the knowledge they currently have before seeking more. Delaying action while waiting for further knowledge is a misuse of this wisdom. True growth is not measured by how much one knows, but by how much one puts into practice. Spiritual development, therefore, is a journey of consistent progress. Each sincere step, no matter how small, carries value when it is accompanied by effort and sincerity. Over time, these steps build a strong foundation of faith, discipline, and character. However, remaining stagnant while claiming to be on a path of improvement is self-deception. It contradicts the very spirit of gradual revelation, which is built upon action, reflection, and advancement. A person who embraces this method correctly will find their heart strengthened, their character refined, and their obedience to Allah, the Exalted, deepened. Ultimately, the gradual revelation of the Holy Quran teaches that true success lies in steady, sincere progress. It is a path of continuous effort, where each stage prepares a person for the next, leading them towards spiritual strength and lasting success in both this world and the hereafter. In general, when a person chooses a different path from those around them, it can sometimes cause others to feel uncomfortable or insecure about their own choices, particularly when those choices are driven by personal desires rather than guidance from Allah, the Exalted. As a result, those who remain firm in their commitment to faith may face criticism, including from family members. In addition, broader societal influences, such as social media, fashion trends, and prevailing cultural norms, often place pressure on those who uphold Islamic values. In many cases, the promotion of Islam is viewed as a challenge to certain ambitions related to wealth, status, or lifestyle. As a result, industries that conflict with Islamic teachings may resist or discourage the adoption of those principles. This can contribute to negative perceptions and widespread criticism across various platforms, including social media. Furthermore, individuals who strive to live according to Islamic teachings, those that encourage moderation, self-control, and the responsible use of blessings, are often criticized by those who pursue excess and follow their desires without restraint. Such behavior, when unchecked, is described as being driven purely by impulses. These individuals may attempt to dissuade others from embracing or practicing Islam, sometimes targeting specific aspects, such as the modest dress code for women, in an effort to undermine its message. However, such criticisms often reveal inconsistency and a lack of depth. For example, while modest dress in Islam is frequently singled out, other professions, such as law enforcement, healthcare, education, or the military, also have established dress codes and standards, yet they are rarely subjected to the same level of scrutiny. This selective criticism highlights that the objection is not truly about clothing itself, but about the broader principle of discipline, restraint, and moral structure that Islam promotes. In reality, it is the emphasis on self-discipline and structured living that often draws criticism toward Islam and its followers. A perceptive observer can recognize that many objections arise not from objective reasoning, but from discomfort with a way of life that prioritizes restraint, accountability, and higher purpose over unchecked desire. In every situation, a person must remain steadfast in sincerely obeying Allah, the Exalted, recognizing that this commitment leads to inner peace and protection from harmful external influences, even if that protection is not immediately apparent. Chapter 76 Al-Insaan, verse 24.
So be patient for the decision of your Lord, and do not obey from among them a sinner or ungrateful.
Remaining loyal to Allah, the Exalted, ensures that a person uses their blessings correctly. This leads to a balanced mental and physical state, where they are able to place everything and everyone in their life appropriately, while also preparing for their accountability on the Day of Judgment. As a result, they attain peace and stability in both this world and the hereafter, being guided through both ease and hardship, and ultimately receiving great reward. In contrast, prioritizing the approval of others over the commands of Allah, the Exalted, leads to the loss of inner peace. This path often results in the misuse of blessings, which in turn creates imbalance in a person's life. They may struggle to maintain order in their thoughts, emotions, and relationships, leading to confusion, stress, and difficulty in managing responsibilities. Such a state leaves them unprepared for their accountability on the Day of Judgment. Even if a person experiences material comfort in this world, a lack of spiritual alignment leads to inner turmoil. True peace is not found in wealth or status alone, but in living a life aligned with the guidance of Allah, the Exalted. To maintain a firm and resolute mindset, one must strive to cultivate strong faith. Such faith is essential for remaining steadfast in obedience to Allah, the Exalted, in every situation, whether in times of ease or hardship. This steadfastness is developed by understanding and applying the clear guidance found in the Holy Quran and the traditions of the Holy Prophet Muhammad, peace and blessings be upon him. Chapter 76 Al-Insaan, verses 25 to 26.
And mention the name of your Lord morning and evening. And during the night prostrate to him and exalt him a long part of the night.
When a person remains mindful of him throughout the day and night, their actions become more deliberate and balanced. This continuous awareness helps them use the blessings they have been granted in a responsible and purposeful way, leading to harmony in their mental, physical, and emotional state. On the other hand, when a person lacks knowledge and understanding of Islamic principles, their faith becomes weak and fragile. This makes them more susceptible to being influenced by their desires, especially when those desires conflict with divine guidance. Without a strong foundation of knowledge, it becomes difficult to recognize that true peace lies in submitting to the commands of Allah, the Exalted, even when it requires restraint or sacrifice. For this reason, it is essential for individuals to actively seek knowledge and apply it in their daily lives. Faith grows not only through learning, but through consistent practice and effort. By striving to align their actions with the guidance of the Holy Quran and the traditions of the Holy Prophet Muhammad, peace and blessings be upon him, a person strengthens their connection with Allah, the Exalted. This commitment allows them to use their blessings correctly, maintain balance in their lives, and prioritize their responsibilities appropriately. As a result, they attain a state of stability and peace, remain firm in obedience, and prepare themselves for their accountability on the Day of Judgment. A vital component of cultivating strong faith and maintaining focus on one's accountability on the Day of Judgment is the establishment of the obligatory prayers. Chapter 76 Al-Insaan, verses 25 to 26.
And mention the name of your Lord in prayer morning and evening. And during the night prostrate to him and exalt him a long part of the night.
The establishment of the obligatory prayers is repeatedly emphasized in Islamic teachings, because prayer is the central pillar around which all good actions revolve. It forms the foundation of a person's relationship with Allah, the Exalted, and serves as the means through which they remain steadfast upon righteousness. True prayer, however, is not merely a sequence of physical movements. It is an act of deep reflection, humility, and awareness that connects the worshipper to the reality of the hereafter. This humility is nurtured when a person understands how each stage of the prayer symbolizes aspects of the Day of Judgment, reminding them of their ultimate accountability before their Creator. For this reason, the 5 daily prayers are distributed throughout the day rather than being offered at one time. Each prayer provides a renewed opportunity to pause, reflect, and realign one's conduct with divine guidance. When a person stands upright in prayer, they should recall that this posture mirrors how all people will stand before Allah, the Exalted, on the Day of Judgment. Chapter 83 Al-Mutaffifin, verses 4 to 6.
Do they not think that they will be resurrected? For a tremendous day, the day when mankind will stand before the Lord of the worlds.
When they bow, it should remind them of the many people who will be criticized on the Day of Judgment for refusing to bow to Allah, the Exalted, during their earthly lives. Chapter 77 Al-Mursalat, verse 48.
And when it is said to them, bow in prayer, they do not bow.
This criticism includes not only the refusal to bow physically, but also the refusal to submit practically to the obedience of Allah, the Exalted, in all aspects of life. When a person prostrates in prayer, it should remind them of how people will be invited to prostrate before Allah, the Exalted, on the Day of Judgment. Those who did not prostrate correctly during their earthly lives, meaning they did not obey Him in all matters, will find themselves unable to do so on that day. Chapter 68 Al-Kalam, verses 42 to 43.
On the day when matters become dire, they will be invited to prostrate themselves but will be prevented from doing so. Their eyes humbled, humiliation will cover them. And they used to be invited to prostration while they were sound.
When a person sits on their knees during prayer, it should remind them of how they will sit in this very position before Allah, the Exalted, on the Day of Judgment, awaiting their final judgment in fear and anticipation. Chapter 45 Al-Jatiyah, verse 28.
And you will see every nation kneeling from fear. Every nation will be called to its record and told, today you will be recompensed for what you used to do.
The one who prays with these meanings in mind establishes their prayer correctly. This, in turn, ensures that they sincerely obey Allah, the Exalted, in the time between the prayers. Chapter 29 Al-Ankabut, verse 45.
Indeed, prayer prohibits immorality and wrongdoing.
This obedience involves using the blessings they have been granted in ways pleasing to Allah, the Exalted, as outlined in the Holy Quran and the traditions of the Holy Prophet Muhammad, peace and blessings be upon him. Through this, they cultivate a balanced mental and physical state, correctly prioritize all aspects of their life, and prepare themselves for their accountability on the Day of Judgment. When a person neglects the practices that strengthen their faith, such as the obligatory prayers, their inner discipline gradually weakens. As a result, they may begin to prioritize immediate desires over obedience to Allah, the Exalted, mistakenly believing that this will bring them peace and satisfaction. However, true peace cannot be achieved through neglecting one's spiritual duties. Chapter 76 Al-Insaan, verse 27.
Indeed, these love the immediate and leave behind them a grave day.
This verse highlights a key reality. When a person becomes overly attached to the temporary nature of this life, they tend to overlook the lasting consequences of their actions. Their focus on immediate gratification leads them to neglect preparation for the Day of Judgment, where every action will be accounted for. As this pattern continues, it affects both their inner state and outward behavior. Their thoughts, priorities, and relationships become disordered, leading to an imbalance in their mental and physical well-being. Without a strong spiritual foundation, it becomes difficult for them to maintain clarity, purpose, and direction in life. In this condition, even if they experience moments of comfort or access to material wealth, they are unable to find lasting peace. This is because external comfort cannot compensate for internal imbalance. Their neglect of spiritual responsibilities ultimately leaves them unprepared for their accountability, and this leads to ongoing stress, confusion, and difficulty in managing life's challenges in both this world and the hereafter. Allah, the Exalted, then reminds people that just as He created them and granted them strength, He also has the power to gradually return them to a state of weakness through aging, illness, and ultimately death. Chapter 76 Al-Insaan, verse 28.
We have created them and strengthened their forms, and when we will, we can change their likenesses with complete alteration.
This verse highlights a profound truth. The entire journey of a person, from strength to weakness, is under the complete control of Allah, the Exalted. The stages of life are not random, nor are they permanent. Strength, health, youth, and capability are all temporary gifts, and their decline is also part of a divinely planned process. Recognizing this reality leads to a logical and balanced conclusion. Since every stage of life is governed by Allah, the Exalted, it is wise for a person to remain obedient to Him in all circumstances. Obedience ensures that each stage, whether strength or weakness, ease or difficulty, is used in a beneficial way. This allows a person to maintain a stable mindset, make sound decisions, and use their blessings correctly. When a person aligns their actions with divine guidance, they are able to maintain balance in both their mental and physical state. They are also better equipped to organize their priorities, relationships, and responsibilities in a meaningful way. This creates a sense of purpose and stability throughout the different phases of life. In contrast, ignoring this reality can lead to confusion and imbalance, as a person may rely solely on their own strength or worldly means, forgetting that these are temporary and controlled by Allah, the Exalted. This often results in misplaced priorities and a lack of preparation for the eventual return to Him on the Day of Judgment. Therefore, a wise person recognizes the temporary nature of life and strives to live in obedience to Allah, the Exalted, at every stage. By doing so, they are able to attain peace, benefit from each phase of life, and prepare themselves for their final return with clarity and purpose. Chapter 76 Al-Insaan, verses 29 to 30.
Indeed, this is a reminder, so he who wills may take to his Lord away. And you do not will except that Allah wills. Indeed, Allah is ever-knowing and wise.
These verses emphasize a profound balance between human choice and divine will. While everything ultimately occurs by the will of Allah, the Exalted, He has granted each person the ability to choose whether or not to follow the guidance He has revealed. This choice carries responsibility, as it determines whether a person benefits from that guidance or neglects it. Despite advancements in knowledge and technology, humanity remains unable to create a comprehensive system of guidance that perfectly aligns with human nature in every circumstance. Human understanding is limited and continues to evolve, with new discoveries constantly reshaping what is known about physical and mental processes. This limitation makes it impossible for human beings to design a flawless code of conduct that ensures balance, justice, and inner peace in all situations. Only Allah, the Exalted, possesses complete and perfect knowledge. As the creator of all things, he knows every detail of creation, what has happened, what is happening, and what will happen. For this reason, the guidance he has provided is uniquely suited to guide people in all times and situations. It clearly distinguishes between what is beneficial and harmful, right and wrong, and leads to harmony in both individual lives and society as a whole. Chapter 76 Insaan, verse 30.
Indeed, Allah is ever knowing and wise.
Historical examples show that when this divine guidance was sincerely implemented, it led to justice, stability, and peace within communities. This demonstrates that such guidance is not merely theoretical, but practical and effective when applied correctly. Chapter 76 Al-Insaan, verse 31.
He admits whom He wills into His mercy.
But because obeying Allah, the Exalted, often contradicts the worldly desires and ambitions of people, many persist in disobeying Him by misusing the blessings He has granted them. In this world, such an attitude prevents them from attaining a balanced mental and physical state, and it causes them to misplace everything and everyone within their life. As a result, every aspect of their existence, family, friendships, career, wealth, and even moments of comfort, gradually becomes a source of stress and agitation. If they continue to disobey Allah, the Exalted, they begin to blame the wrong things and the wrong people for their distress, directing their frustration toward those who are innocent, such as their spouse or close companions. When they remove these good influences from their lives, their inner turmoil only intensifies, leading them further into emotional instability until they eventually fall into depression, substance addiction, or even suicidal tendencies. This outcome is evident when one observes those who persistently misuse the blessings they have been granted, including many among the rich and famous. Despite their worldly luxuries, they often experience profound inner emptiness, fractured relationships, and destructive habits. Their material comforts cannot compensate for the imbalance created by their disobedience. Their blessings become burdens, their desires become chains, and their lives become increasingly chaotic. Furthermore, their attitude prevents them from preparing for their accountability on the Day of Judgment. They fail to use their time, health, wealth, and opportunities in ways that would benefit them in the hereafter. As a result, their punishment in the next world will be far more severe. The distress they experience in this life is only a small reflection of the consequences awaiting them if they persist in misusing the blessings of Allah, the Exalted, without repentance. Their worldly turmoil becomes a warning, while their hereafter becomes a reckoning for the choices they made and the guidance they ignored. Chapter 76 Al-Insaan, verse 31.
But the wrongdoers, He has prepared for them a painful punishment.
Therefore, a person must accept and act upon Islamic teachings for their own benefit, even when these teachings contradict their personal desires. They must conduct themselves like a wise patient who accepts and follows the medical advice of a skilled doctor, knowing that the treatment is ultimately for their well-being, even if it involves bitter medicine or a strict diet. Just as this patient eventually attains good mental and physical health, so too does the person who embraces and implements Islamic teachings. This is because the only one who possesses the complete and perfect knowledge required to ensure that a person achieves a balanced mental and physical state, and correctly places everything and everyone within their life, is Allah, the Exalted. The understanding of the human mind and body possessed by society, despite extensive research, will never be sufficient to achieve this outcome. Human beings cannot resolve every issue a person may face. Their advice cannot shield one from all forms of mental and physical stress, nor can their guidance ensure that a person correctly prioritizes everything and everyone in their life. These limitations arise from restricted knowledge, limited experience, lack of foresight, and the presence of personal biases. Allah, the Exalted, alone possesses perfect knowledge, and He has granted humanity access to this knowledge through the Holy Quran and the traditions of the Holy Prophet Muhammad, peace and blessings be upon him. This truth becomes evident when one observes the difference between those who use their blessings according to Islamic teachings and those who do not. Even though patients often do not understand the science behind the medicines they are prescribed, and therefore trust their doctor without full comprehension, Allah, the Exalted, does not expect people to follow Islam blindly. Instead, He invites them to reflect upon its teachings so that they may recognize its truthfulness and appreciate its positive effects on their lives. He calls people to approach Islam with insight, not imitation. Chapter 12 Yusuf, verse 108.
Say, this is my way, I invite to Allah with insight, I and those who follow me.
In addition, as Allah the Exalted alone controls the spiritual hearts of people, the true abode of peace of mind, He alone determines who attains tranquility and who does not. Chapter 53 and Najm, verse 43.
And that it is He who makes one laugh and weep.
True peace is therefore not a product of wealth, status, or worldly achievement. It is a divine gift granted to those who align their lives with the guidance revealed by Allah, the Exalted. Chapter 16 and Nahl, verse 97.
Whoever does righteousness, whether male or female, while he is a believer, we will surely cause him to live a good life, and we will surely give them their reward in the hereafter according to the best of what they used to do.
All praise is due to Allah, Lord of the worlds, and may peace and blessings be upon His final messenger, Muhammad, his noble family and companions.